Hey, comic book fans, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0, and you're with me, Mike Spider Slayer, in the second part of my amazing Spider-Man collection. We're going to go probably to about the part where there's just more, until the issues get really recent, where everyone's pretty much reading at the point. I probably won't show those. I'm showing my collection from the past. So again, we're in the second part of this, so let's just keep jumping on forward, all right? So we are on issue number 314. 314 of the Amazing Spider-Man. And the reason why I'm separating it is because people may want to see like the older comics going into the somewhat older ones and then to the newer ones. So that's why I'm separating these parts. Love this cover. Love it to death. Issue number 315. Really loved Hydro Man, the way he was drawn. Todd McFarlane can really draw. I mean, when you make Hydro Man interesting like that, that's awesome. You got Venom here. Without the tongue, he's got that big grin at the time. 318, we have Scorpion here. Every character is drawn with such detail. It is so awesome. I love when McFarlane was on Spider-Man. 317, we get Venom, who's back. It's awesome. He's fighting the symbiote here. Great artwork. 320, the assassination plot. So you got that. 320, 321. Silver Sable looks hot. I'll be honest with you. 322. This was like the best time for Spider-Man, I thought. Just changed the character, really modernized it. 323. Captain America. He looks badass in there. 324. Sabretooth just looks like he's going to kick some serious ass. 325. Look at the Red Skull, the detail and the inks and everything that goes into his face. Really cool. Got the American flag there. 326. This was not done by McFarlane. This was some random artist here. McFarlane was starting to get burned out at this time. I didn't blame the guy. He's sitting there, I think, writing and doing the art at the same time. And then by issue 330 here, you have, this is 1989. And then you have the Punisher and Spider-Man here done by Erik Larsen. So now this was Erik Larsen's turn, which I thought continued that trend of Spider-Man's exaggerations and storytelling, to make it a little bit different. Here we got issue 332. So that was cool. 333. Venom was on there. Sticks and Stone. It's funny, it's in this hard plastic thing because at the time this book was worth like 14 bucks. 334, The Return of the Sinister Six. One of my most memorable stories that I've ever read in the 90s. You have 335. Again, great covers here. Shocker. 336, Chance is back with the Vulture. He's in here. 337, great cover, making Spider-Man feel like he's so tiny. 338, the Battle Royal. 339, Dr. Octopus, like usual. Die, 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 Spider-Man. 340, Female Trouble. 341. This is it. Spidey goes normal. Tarantula is back. He's in the background. He has no powers in this story arc. 342. And if you notice at this time, Spider-Man, the colors on here was Spider-Man's costume. For some reason, they always drew him like black and red. Black Cat's back in here. Larsen really, he draws women pretty nice too. Black Cat looks pretty sexy. Here we got 343, another great cover here. I truly enjoy the covers. You get the Black Cat and Scorpion's back and awesome stuff. Here we have Cardiac, which I think is his first appearance, if I remember correctly, and the Rhino. 345, where Venom is making another return here, and the Boomerang. 346, we have here Venom with the crazy ass tongue that Erik Larsen introduced at the time. Awesome cover. Here's another great cover. Issue 347. Venom, just the tongue keeps getting longer and longer. He's holding the skeleton head of Spider-Man. And I think Peter actually tricked him or whatnot. I don't know. I don't remember at the time. Here's a great cover done by Larsen, where it's got the Avengers on here. So you got Cap and Sandman was an Avenger at the time, or a Reserve Avenger. Black Widow's back there. Thor's back there. Great stuff there. Issue 349 you have here with the Fox, and this character here is Dr. Doom, which leads into Spider-Man's giant-sized 350th issue, drawn by Erik Larsen, and here we got Dr. Doom there. Really cool. Mary Jane's in the little box. Made Mary Jane the pure model that she is today, I think. Issue 351, where you have the New Warriors. So you got Nova in there. And at this time now, Erik Larsen stopped his run on the artwork. And you have Mark Bagley, who also drew the New Warriors. So right away, he's throwing in his characters in here. Because I think the New Warriors at the time was getting canceled, so he wanted to bring his characters in there. And then, who's it written by? David Michelin's still the writer at this time, so he wrote the book for a very long time. So you got that one. Here you got 352. Very simplistic cover here. Excuse me. This is an Erik Larsen drawing on the cover, and then you have Nova there. At this point now, you have I think Mark Bagley takes it over completely and starts this two-week bi-weekly process here. So you have that issue 353, 354. 355, 356, 356. Now this is the time for me when I started getting a little bit less interested. At this time, I'm sitting there trying to think how old I was. It's 1991. I'm 16 years old at this time. So I was still reading heavily Spider-Man books, but I found that the stories started to decline at this point. Here we have 357, where you have the Punisher and Nova. 358. This is a nice cover. When you sit here and unfold it, this is what you get. So you got Darkhawk in there, Moon Knight, Punisher. So it's a really good cover. This book, all these books are in mint condition. I read all these books one time and probably put them away. Maybe looked at them a few times, but they've been sitting in this box for years. A huge, huge collection. So 358. Here we have 359, Cardiac Attack. I liked Cardiac. He was that out-of-the-box character that they created. Truly enjoyed that. 360. Another issue with Cardiac in there. Cardiac's that vigilante. So when I did a review most recently on the Superior Spider-Man, and they brought Cardiac back for the first time in years, you can see that the last time you saw him, like 91 or something like that. Oh, whoa. I'm missing a book here. I do have issue number 361, which is the first full appearance of Carnage. It's around here somewhere. Um, I know I think I did a review on it just recently, so it's just not in the box, but I do have it. Issue number 362, which is Carnage and Venom versus the Amazing Spider-Man. 363, Carnage, the conclusion. 364 versus the Shocker. You see a lot of images like this with Spider-Man and the Shocker. Very similar images. Then we start getting real gimmicky here with issue 365 and the hologram covers. This was such a big deal when this stuff came out in the 90s. 1992. 366. Red Skull, Taskmaster, Peter Parker's parents. Issue number 367. See, I knew I saw this guy before when I was reading, what was the issue that I was reading? Venom. They had this guy here, and this was the evil version of Spider-Man. And I said, oh, I've seen this guy before. And there he is right there. So that's it right there. That's pretty cool. 368, Spider Slayers. Get to see that back. 369, Invasion of more Spider Slayers. Gee, I wonder where my name came from. Issue 370, look who's back with the Black Cat and Scorpion. Issue 371, another Invasion of the Spider Slayers, part 4 of 6. 373, which is a pretty cool cover. 377, Cardiac. 378, Maximum Carnage, part 3 of 14. Talk about a super duper tie-in. Maximum Carnage, issue 379, part 7 of 14. So you got, at this point, you got the Hobgoblin, the Demon Goblin, the Doppelganger, you got Carnage, you got Venom. They're just like pulling out all the stops at this point. This is back in 1993. Issue number 385. 388, the double-sized issue with this hologram and foilness cover here. And at this point, this is when, we're in 1993. It's not quite the same here. It's not horrible, but I don't know. I think at this point, I kind of outgrew a lot of stuff at that time in my life. However, there's still always great comics. I mean, they changed it. They changed the way the logo was made here, based off of the cartoon series. Great cover though here. I truly enjoyed this one. This was $3.97. And then you go to issue number 400. Okay. Which you can't see shit. It's a tombstone. This has got to be like the worst cover ever. It's supposedly a tombstone. I think it glows in the dark. I think that's what it was. And it's got Spider-Man on there. Of course, it's a gimmick cover. So, and that is 400. All right, so this is going to end the second part to the Amazing Spider-Man collection. I will do, I think, one more part for the more modern times, which is in the 400s, 500s, or whatnot. And then from there on out, I think we'll end it after that because a lot of people are familiar with like the 600s and of course the 700s and shit like that. So, and then the new Spider-Man shit. So, guys, thanks for watching. Get ready for the next part.